Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero, and yesterday we got all of the nominations for the Game Awards, and I just want to give my opinion on what I believe should win within every single category, and I want to discuss something very weird about the Game of the Year nominations. Well, we'll get into it in just a second. We're going to start off here with Best Game Direction. I believe that Super Mario Bros. Wonder should absolutely get that, considering the way the game has been changed up compared to previous 2D Mario games. Although I would say it might actually go to Tears of the Kingdom or even Baldur's Gate 3. I do feel though that Baldur's Gate 3 is going to take a clean sweep considering all the raving reviews. And of course, the games media is all about that whole representation, diversity nonsense. I believe there are non-binary options in this game, and the fact that you could have relations with a bear kind of appeases the games media these days because that's kind of the weird stuff that they're into. Best narrative, I would say Baldur's Gate 3. I didn't really play any of the other games, so I can't really choose anything else. Best art direction, I would say absolutely Hi-Fi Rush. It has such a unique style to it. It is an absolutely great gem of a game. If you love the Jet Set Radio games, this game would definitely be for you. It's much better than Jet Set Radio. It just kind of feels like a spiritual successor to a Jet Set Radio, in my opinion. Score music, I would say absolutely go to Final Fantasy 16, although I might have a little bit of bias towards Hi-Fi Rush, considering it is a rhythm style game, and the music in that game is very fantastic. But I also love the music in Final Fantasy. There's never been a single Final Fantasy that has had bad music, in my opinion, and I've played majority of them. Best audio design, definitely I would say either Dead Space or Hi-Fi Rush. Again, Hi-Fi Rush with the emphasis on the fact that it is a rhythm style game, I believe, would be great for it. Best performance, I would go, for me personally, I would go with Cameron Monaghan or probably Ben Starr. I believe that Ben Starr will end up taking it simply because it's Final Fantasy, and he did win, I believe he did win Best Voice Actor in the Golden Joystick Awards, so I think they'll give it to him. Innovation and accessibility, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say honestly either Diablo 4 or Street Fighter 6 or even Mortal Kombat 1, simply because they just have features that have probably never been seen before in accessibility, especially Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat 1, considering I believe both of them have mono controls. As much as I hate mono controls, they'll probably give it to that for some reason. I feel like it'll go to Mortal Kombat 1 though. Games for Impact. I don't have anything to say about any of these because I haven't played any of these games. Best ongoing, I feel like Final Fantasy 14 is obviously going to take this one. It seems to have taken it in the last couple of years. I just feel like Final Fantasy 14 is the best out of this bunch, in my opinion. Community support, I'm gonna say this one. It's either gonna be Baldur's Gate 3 or Final Fantasy 14. I don't really see the other ones being anything crazy. For me, this one is gonna be Sea of Stars because it's just a fantastic game. If you love Chrono Trigger, you're gonna love this game. Absolutely. Again, debut indie game. I can't really tell you. I haven't played any of these games. Mobile games, I would say it's either going to go to either Honkai Star Rail or it's going to go to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Considering that Ever Crisis, I believe, is like a retelling of, not a retelling, but a remastered version type of game of the original Final Fantasy VII, or it's supposed to be a part of the new Final Fantasy VII remake series. But Honkai Star Rail, gotcha games and all that. Best VR AR, I would say it's either going to be Resident Evil Village VR, or it's going to be Horizon. I think it's going to be Horizon though. Best action game for me out of all of these, Armor Core 6, all the way. Armor Core 6. Second, Hi-Fi Rush. I think it's going to go to Armor Core 6 though. Best action adventure, I'm going to say either Tears of the Kingdom or Resident Evil 4, although they might be funny and just make Spider-Man 2, anything in Spider-Man 2 is in besides Game of the Year, kind of take them, but I'm going to say it's either Tears of the Kingdom or Resident Evil 4. Best RPG for me would be a tough one. I've played Lies of P, I've played Sea of Stars, and I've played Starfield. But considering all the accolades and nominations that Baldur's Gate 3 has gotten, I'm gonna say Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna end up taking it. For me personally, out of all these, for me it'd be Sea of Stars. Best fighting, I think it should be Street Fighter 6, but I'm sure Mortal Kombat 1 is gonna take it. Best family game, it's got to be Super Mario Bros. Wonder all day, every day. Best sim and strategy, I'm going to say it's either between Fire Emblem Engage or Advance Wars 1 and 2, but my money's on Fire Emblem Engage. Best sports and racing, my money's on Forza Motorsport, but I could see FIFA taking it essentially because it's FIFA. Best multiplayer, uh, I would say it's between, for me personally, I would say Diablo 4 or Baldur's Gate. I feel like Baldur's Gate is going to end up taking it because Diablo 4 has had so much backlash for it. I feel like, again, anything that Baldur's Gate is in is going to take the category, in my opinion. Best adaptation, I'm going to go with Super Mario Brothers. It's not even a question. Screw all these other ones. Gran Turismo, bleh. Twisted Metal, bleh. Last of Us, maybe. Castlevania Nocturne, bleh. I would say it's going to be Super Mario Bros. Movie, considering the impact of video game adaptations that it's had. And I mean, who doesn't like the song Peaches? So, most anticipated game, I'm just going to say it's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I would like it to be Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, just because I kind of have a slight bias towards Yakuza games because I love the entire series. But most likely it's going to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I don't really care. I've heard this person is terrible. That's about it. I don't care about any of these like esports, Counter-Strike 2 all day. It's not even a question. I don't really care too much about the esports athletes or the esports teams or the esports coach. I don't think these categories should even be involved in the Game Awards to begin with. None of these things. For me, it would be Evo, but again, I don't think any of these things should be involved in the Game Awards to begin with. But we're gonna head back over to this Game of the Year. Now, in all honesty, I'm gonna say it. Spider Mid 2 should not be there. But the way that it launched, buggy as hell. I don't think it should be there. Although I'm gonna say it as well. I would have liked Starfield to be here, but I know, in my opinion, the game's media is pretty biased towards Xbox. And of course, people will say that it was a buggy mess and all this other good stuff. But I still feel Starfield was a much better game overall and had more to do than Spider Mid 2. 10 to 12 hour game, and it just recently came out. Same thing with Alan Wake 2. I don't think Alan Wake 2 should be there. I would say Baldur's Gate 3 definitely deserves a spot. Tears of the Kingdom deserves a spot. I think it's going to be a battle between Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate 3. I feel overall Baldur's Gate 3 is going to take it, but in my opinion, I do feel personally that Tears of the Kingdom is going to take it, simply because Breath of the Wild took it in 2017, and if Tears of the Kingdom is just more Breath of the Wild but way better, I feel like Tears of the Kingdom will take it. Resident Evil 4 Remake, fantastic game. I don't really feel like it should be there. I feel like for Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man, and Resident Evil 4, I think this should be honestly replaced with Hi-Fi Rush, Starfield, and what's the other one? Hogwarts Legacy. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that Hogwarts Legacy, the best-selling game of 2023, is absolutely snubbed from any category in the Game Awards. We all know, for anyone who's been paying attention, because of certain things that J.K. Rowling said, like, biology is real and there are only two genders, that the game's media is going to be biased towards this game, even though it has been the most popular game on Twitch. It broke all the Twitch records. The most viewed game of all time on Twitch, the best-selling game of 2023, still the best game. We're in November, and it's still the best-selling game of the year, even over probably Call of Duty even. And it had the higher player count on the PlayStation 5, even when Spider-Man 2 came out in October. But, Right here, #1 selling new release of 2023. Obviously, it says at the bottom, based on sales through September 2023. I'm sure that it's the exact same now than it was in September of 2023 because there were more players playing Hogwarts Legacy over Spider-Man 2, even in October. And that's supposed to be Sony's big holiday release, and really they're only one exclusive for the only one first party exclusive for the entire year. But even the people that are part of games media are saying why Hogwarts Legacy potentially got snubbed. Let's take a listen. This is Paris. And you know this guy's a huge Xbox guy. And even he is saying something funny is going on with Hogwarts Legacy.
My next point here, Hogwarts Legacy. Should it probably have been nominated? Yeah, probably should have been. It was a good game. But we're all human. There's just a reality of it. I said, if you go back to kind of funny when we were doing our whole fantasy draft stuff, when we were picking games, I said then, this was January 2023. I go, there's no way in hell Hogwarts Legacy is going to win anything. It's going to be too controversial because of J.K. Rowling. That's just the truth. You know what I mean? Whether we agree with it or not. So that's why you're not seeing it. We may not like it, but that's just the reality of it again. And I will tell you on my own personal voting list, no, I did not have Hogwarts on anything, but I also did not play it. So that factors in as well.
I think it's absolutely crazy that even someone that's in the games media would sit up here and tell you that even he is suspicious of Hogwarts Legacy getting completely snubbed out of every single category this year. It is an absolute travesty that because people can't set their biases aside for the creator of a game, that they can't judge the game based on its merits rather than judging the game based on the person who created the world that was used to create said game. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and that crap needs to stop. We need to be able to view games, at least the games media does. They need to be able to review games and set all their biases aside, whether they have a bias towards Microsoft, towards Sony, towards Nintendo, towards the creator of a franchise, of a universe that inspired the creation of a game. You need to put all that aside, just play the game and then give your honest opinion and not have some garbage bias for any reason whatsoever. And this is why people go to YouTube for video game reviews, because they realize that people seem to be more biased when they're paid shills essentially for one company or the other. And they want to get honest opinions from actual gamers that sit there, take their time, and actually play a game before giving their review. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button, comment below what you feel about all this, subscribe for more content. Let me know what your Game of the Year nominations would have been, if you have any. Hit the bell for notifications, set the bell to all. That way you get notifications anytime I post a new video or live stream, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.